Hello and welcome, 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 welcome. It is day 10, the final day. We have done 10 days, 10 interviews. So excited for Amplify Her Live. And today's topic is all about self care, taking time for yourself. So you've gotten all of these great nuggets. We've talked about setting our goals, we talked about procrastination, asking for help. So many different topics have come across the screen for you all. And if you've missed it, go to amplifyher.net/1010 event. You can follow me across social media at Erica Empowers to catch the live streams as well. And you'll be able to get some bonus resources when you register. But if you missed it, this is your reminder. Y'all, there were just so many good stories, so much encouragement. I am just blown away and thankful by the amazing guests that we have had and the stories that they have shared and the tips and the advice that we've gotten so many days. There are so many things that I have been able to implement just from these last few days of hearing it. A few things that stand out to me. I'm going to do our wrap up at the end. So a few things that stands out to me for each day. I'm going to kind of wrap up today with that. But before we do the wrap up, I have two more powerful powerhouse women that are going to help you take time for yourself. These women are entrepreneurial minded entrepreneurs, business owners, just great women to give you tips on finding that balance and that time for yourself. So first up, I will welcome to the stage Amber. Yes, Amber, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Thanks for happening and having me, and happy prosperous 2025 to everybody.
Yeah, so can you just kickstart? Tell us just a little bit about yourself for those that may not have connected with you before.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Amber Hawkins, entrepreneur, as she said. Your computer needs a Toledo LLC, celebrating year number 20 of the model computer train more that comes to you. I'm coming before you as far as that balance and that, yes, it is okay to think of yourself and your health as well. And also on the tech side, too.
I love it. And it's not lost on me that you just said 20 years. You have been the queen of pivoting. You have been the queen of endurance, resilience. And so I cannot wait to dive into this and ask you some more questions. But before we do that, let me bring up our other powerhouse who is also not just an entrepreneur, but she helps others to start their business, to get those systems in place, to get organized. So welcome with me, Latanya. How are you doing tonight?
I am wonderful, 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 wonderful. And this is 2025. This is a year for people to really look at their life, look at their how they just need to adjust to themselves. So I'm so excited, so amazing to be here. Um, I just love being with you. Oh my God, we it's just like we are sisters from another mother. So I am
Yes.
so excited to just bring my good expertise. I'm just excited. I'm overwhelmed.
I'm so excited. And it's always a blessing because Amber as well, Latanya who's here, Tamika who I will be getting Tamika's information out as well. She's another guest that we were going to feature tonight. Unfortunately, she was unable to be here, but we will still be promoting and talking about Tamika Carpenter Carlton as well. But Latanya, it's been years and I love the women of
Yeah.
Amplify Her because many of you just continue to show up and continue to just pour back into
Mhm.
women. We have been around the world for
Yes.
this event specifically. We had UK, Australia, South Africa, and y'all still keep showing up to be a blessing to
Yes.
someone else. I
Yes.
don't take it lightly. Latanya, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do for those that may not have connected with you before?
Oh my gosh. I am Latanya Turner. I'm the founder of Executive 3 Consulting Firm. I help entrepreneurs as well as businesses find those missing links in their business to help them grow their business and to keep them from building liabilities, but building assets to grow their companies and leave a legacy for their children and their children's children. And I enjoy what I do because so many people come to me about their business or from how to get started, or Tanya, I don't see where my money is going. So I help do a full out assessment of your business so you can keep your business in the black. So that's
Mm.
a little bit about me.
That's so good. I'm going to bring Amber back up. You talked about legacy. You talked about finding leaks. You both have just continue business. I will even add longevity, because it's one thing we know that most businesses, I want to say the statistic, it's about 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And so that's no easy feat. And I don't take it lightly that you both are sitting here as a testament to not just, give up on where God is calling you. So I first want to just kind of dive into our topic today, which is making time for yourself, which definitely as a business owner, we know that is not it's not easy.
Right.
So yeah, so let's start with you, Amber. What would you say when you see taking time for yourself? What does that mean to you?
That means in order for me to do what's necessary, to do what I do in business and the like, I can't do business if I am in the hospital or I'm sick. And back in 2022, I had COVID-19, and that took me out for quite a loop, to week to where I couldn't even do simple things. I needed to have assistance around because that's how much it weakened me. And that increased me, as I would say, being a self-care proponent and all of that. So it is okay to take care of your body, to get some rest, because your body needs some rest. Years ago, there was this slogan in one of the groups I was in on Facebook called Team No Sleep, where, maybe you would rest, but you would do it all night to do things as far as your business or whatever as a group to try to grow it and everything. Little did I know, and a lot of people didn't know, that it will impact your body in very negative ways that you don't even know about, to where it affects you not only physically, but mentally, psychologically, and all of that. So rest your bodies.
Oh my goodness. And it's so good because, like you said, you can't show up. A lot of times we want to get the strategy, we want to scale the income, we want all these things to happen, and we want them to happen usually quickly. So it's team no sleep, team hustle culture. I've been guilty of believing that that's the way to do it. But what I found, and I'm so thankful that you shared that, Amber, as well, like your experience through COVID. I remember different seasons where God was truly just calling me to rest, and I didn't want to unplug. I'm thinking, no, but what about, we got to hustle. We got to, do all these things. But it's in that season of rest, so many blessings I can say even came that I experienced. And then, I mean, God, even when he talks about, there's a verse in Joshua 1 where he's talking about them going into inherit the promise. And I had read that book for years.
Right.
And it wasn't until I was in that place of rest that I realized that he talked about going into the promised land. There you're going to get rest.
You're
like
right.
It's not about, there you're going to go get more strategy and you're going to get more things to keep you up in the middle of the night, stressed out about how many clients you closed today. He's going to give you rest. So I love that you said that, Amber. That's just so good. Latanya, when you hear taking time for yourself, before I ask you, Latanya, thank you and welcome to everyone who is live. Drop your comments, continue to share. Thank you for just being a part of this live event, and it pays to share. It doesn't pay financially, but it pays to help somebody else. So if you can think of someone, tag them and tell them all about this event. So Latanya, when you hear take time for yourself, what stands out to you?
I think what's mostly stands out to me is because during COVID, or right before COVID, I had to have my thyroids removed. And during that period, it was like, okay, it was supposed to have been outpatient, but I had to end up staying in the hospital for 5 days. And it was like, oh my God, I did not realize how much it takes your body down. And going through that process, couldn't talk, couldn't literally just do anything. And God really had to show me, okay, I need you to rest, because I said, God, this is your opportunity. If you don't want me to talk, okay, this is it. But I knew he had me to, I got more for you. So resting and just really just not just your body, but your mind, because we go to sleep, but we got to learn how to just shut our mind off in that rest. Because if we don't, it's like we always continue to try to run a race.
Mm. That's so
Mhm.
good. And I was watching a video recently, and as we think about taking that time for ourselves, it reminds me of this video. It was a family that had decided to just get on the road and they were living like this
Mhm.
RV lifestyle. And the father said something that was so good. He said he was doing all of this work, and what really hit him when he decided to, I believe they sold their home or something like that and got the RV to just go see the sights with their young children. And he said it really hit him because they were driving past like something monumental and they couldn't stop to just go see it and experience that moment as a family because he had to get back to his desk job. And
Mhm.
he was
Mhm.
like, I'm saying I'm doing all this work and I'm hustling and I'm doing all this so I can, have that, we say, leave the legacy or do all these things, but I'm foregoing these things in the moment, trying to, in quotations, work for them. And so he stopped right then and there. And so often I believe if we can just trust that God is ordering our steps. We don't like, where did it say? It says work unto the Lord, but nothing said work until you pass out, like you said, Amber, or work until you tired, and just busted and disgusted, and you can't even enjoy the fruit of your labor. So we find that balance to really just be okay with not being busy all the time. It's
Right.
okay. We don't have to be busy. That's not a badge of honor. Um,
Mhm.
so you both, like I said, y'all have both been in business for quite some time. You have, I believe, I don't know about you, Amber, but I know Latanya, you and I both can relate on this too, where you have been able to navigate as well, working in corporate, doing
Yeah.
full-time work, being able to run a business and do all the things in between. So how do you find, for, I can't think of a better word than balance, but how do you find that intersection or that alignment with balancing your business and just life and making sure you have that time for yourself? Let's start with you, Latanya.
I think it goes back to looking at everybody gets 24 hours, and it's how you schedule your 24 hours. And when you put pen to paper, and I tell people it's so critical to put pen to paper so you can write your roadmap. What do you
Mm,
want your day to day to look like? And when you do that, you be like, you know what? I don't have to watch 3 hours of Hallmark. I can
mm,
go take a walk or just read a good book. And then, you know what? I know we have small kids, but you know what? I can put them to bed and let me work 2 hours on my business. So
mm,
that's the balance that yes, it's a little sacrifice, but when you just, I cannot stress enough when people just put pen to paper and write down what you want your day to be, you can find that balance, and that way it rests your mind, and you can be like, you know what, I'm not as stressed or as
mm.
uptight as I'm putting myself on. So I would say that.
That's been a word, a resounding word each night
Mhm.
in some way, shape, or form. Someone has talked about that. And there's so much power in using, like you said, that writing, because we can
Mhm.
say we have things in our head, but the commitment of putting pen to paper, setting that schedule and making that commitment to budget our time. And the thing
Right.
about time is it's our most valuable commodity. I say this so often. It's so valuable because we can't get that back. Money,
So,
you can get it, lose it, get it again, right? But
right.
time, it's not coming back to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's so good, Latanya. What about you, Amber? How have you been able to find that balance, or what are some of those go-to things that you do to maximize your time?
One of the things is, and it's something that I had learned for the past couple of years, more so watch what you say,
Mm,
because you're trying to thrive, you're trying to expand, you're trying to, hustle or whatever the case may be. But then what are you saying?
mm,
Even what you're saying yourself, what are you thinking and all of that? Not only that, be careful of where and who you're surrounded by. Because if there's a whole lot of negativity, a whole lot of whatever going on, believe it or not, you're going to bring all of that to where you are. Are you going to be carrying that with you? You're going to have to understand that if you're going to be the best you, if you're going to try to do things differently, what are you saying? And also, what is everybody else saying around you? Because
Mm.
it's like if they're gonna down you, you don't need help in doing that. Well, you can be bad about all of that. So you gotta watch that.
That's the truth. I say that too because you can go anywhere in the world and find challenges. And what you don't want to do is come to your safe space, come to your circle to be met with even more challenges. That's supposed to be the place where you recharge. So, Amber, that is so powerful because our words are so important. And Camellia, I see that said, our words create our world, and that's it. And
Mhm.
so we can't fight. You say one thing and then you're doing something else, or your actions are saying, yeah, I'm working on this business, I'm growing it, but your words are saying it's never going to work for me, and all the negativity. I love it. So my next question to you both, if you had to give advice to your younger self or to someone that you cared about, and they're like, listen, I'm burnt out, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I cannot find time for myself, what advice would you give yourself maybe 4 steps ago or just a few years back? What advice would you say?
Oh gosh. You have to
Y'all got some
excuse
words
us
for yourself.
because it's like, oh my gosh, so much. Let's see, but we don't have that much time. I understand that.
Right.
Yeah,
One of
let's
the
start with you,
things,
Latanya.
go ahead, Latanya.
Woo! Run. uh, I would say, my young self, really take the time to really enjoy life and really figure out what is it that you really wake up and you want to feel good about. Because I know for myself, I didn't have that opportunity, and now I can pour back into my kids because I have a 26-year-old, 28-year-old, and I pour into them and I say, do what you love. Not just, it's not about going out getting job, making money, but God said your gifts will make room for you. So I would just say, do what you love. Yes, you're going to get the negativity like, nah, that's not going to pay the bills. But if you trust and you believe, your gift will make room. So I would say just whatever's in your heart for you that you just can't get away from, that God just keep putting it in your face, keep putting it in your ear. That's what you need to do. Mhm.
That's so good. I want to and I know Amber you had an answer too, but this is so good because not just doing what you love like you said and God putting it in your face. Sometimes if it switches up, and I feel like Amber you have been very flexible in that way, if the dynamic has to change. So sometimes we even have to pivot from
Mhm.
we figure these things out, we're in our place of comfort, we're like, oh, business is growing, things are happening, and then we find ourselves in a pivot. So, with the advice that you have, but then also what would you say, how we said to that younger self, and then also what advice would you have on pivoting?
I would say mainly this, something I wish I had learned a long time ago. No is an answer too. Just as yes
Mhm.
is, no is too.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
sometimes you need to guard yourself. Go for, if it's a dream of yours, go for it. Uh, you are going to get negativity. You're going to run into negativity, but go for it because you don't want to continue on and then have regrets. Like, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. And then finally, I would say, hey, even in the boat, Jesus rested. So if he rested, why can't we rest?
Look, that's it. It's like sometimes when we overthink, I'm gonna pick on my daughter too. My family, we had a family night recently where we did the mini golf, and she was all in her head about the first probably about 10 holes. She's like, oh, I can't do this, I'm messing up, whatever. When she stopped worrying about it, she did one move that we were just all like, oh wow, and she
Right.
just hit
Mhm.
it without even thinking about it, and it went in. And it made me think about how often in life where when we think about chasing goals and chasing after something, when we chase, that implies that it's moving away from us. We don't have
Mhm.
to chase what's ours. Like when something is ours, I love that you said Jesus rested because it comes from that place of peace. When God blesses us, he adds no burden to it. So being mindful, and you said this too, Latanya, being willing to get quiet and what's coming easy to me. What do I actually enjoy doing? What's coming? It's not always going to be easy, but sometimes it's going to be seamless, right?
Right.
Even if challenges come, it's going to be that thing that you can't shake. It's going to be that thing that no matter what, you try to run from it like Jonah, and you keep finding yourself pointed right back in that direction, and you just can't shake it. And so even that taking time for ourselves, to me, it also begins, my true time for myself is getting at the feet of God, like getting in that quiet space and allowing God. A friend reminded me of this today, where she ends her night saying, God, what do you have for me to do? What are you saying to me in this season? So when we can hear that, we can make that time to really show up. So I want to pass the mic back to you both. What would you say? What's that core habit that when you think back to the biggest shifts in your life, what's like one big habit that you've adopted?
Persistence.
Let's start with you, Amber. Okay, you said, huh?
Persistence.
And how would you say you've been able to be persistent? Like, what's something that's helped you remain persistent?
Even when things may not work out with plan A, there's always plan C, plan D. And if I think of an Excel spreadsheet, here I go with the tech talk again, or a computer or all of that. Even with that, there's after Z, there's double A, AB, ABC, ABD, and all of that. Yeah, you might have to go through a good number of things to adjust. But if that goal is a goal you are aiming to accomplish, then sometimes you have to adjust. There are times you have to pivot. There are times when maybe this part of whatever step you're taking won't work now, but it'll work later on, and then go on from there.
I love that you said that too. There was a story that was shared yesterday. You all just go back and watch this interview that was with Dr. David and Elizabeth, where she talked about there was a prayer that she had for 20 years. And I love that you said the persistence, because the C is not giving up just because it doesn't come easily or it doesn't come quickly. It's like I said, that's seamless. So if you just keep at it and understand that, it's still worth going after. I love that, Amber. What about you, LaTanya? What's that core habit that you've adopted that's helped you significantly?
I think it's perseverance, because, life is life, and we can't get around it until, we take our last breath. By me persevering, because it was times when I want to give up. It was time that, I said, this is just not working. Everything is just like it's coming on me, and I just don't know where to turn. But I had to stay the course. I said, God has brought me this far not to leave me, even though I just thought in my mind that he did, because he said that he would never leave me nor forsake me. So even in business and in your personal life, you have to keep going, because you're not doing it for yourself. You are doing it for the people that you're going to come in contact with. So I would say perseverance. Yes, it may not look the way we think, but God has a plan. Like he said in Jeremiah 29:11, he knows the plan. So we just got to get in line with him and find out what the plan is.
Yes. And this is what I love about you both too, that you both have that background in, I want to say, coming from that logical, logistical, standpoint. Amber done brought up the spreadsheet, and I know you, LaTanya, you are really big on the systems. And while we're all out here looking at the scenery and the art, and y'all are very straightforward with that. And I love someone said discipline. I'll say discipline for that habit, and that's it. That's what we've been talking about this year, is just getting into order, getting things, stepping into our authority, walking by our faith, and then walking, like I said, in that authority to be disciplined so we can see the fruit. So that's what I want to wrap with, because you both have businesses that are founded in that place, I believe, of order, like taking things that are chaotic and stressful, and then bringing order to that thing and creating that that system for things to happen. So can you tell us, Latanya, what is that one takeaway that you hope our audience has today? And also tell us a little more about how we can work with you, get connected with you, and what you bring.
I want people to really look at their business. I want them to not just look at how I make the money, but how do they serve? How do they serve their customers? Because that's the most important thing that we as business owners, we forget that we have to serve. And with me, I'm a server. I'm just a genuine server. So it comes easy with me in my business. And how people can connect with me is at e3cfirm.com. You can go to my website and you can, I have all tools, resources on my website, and you can connect with me on my website and you can set up a call with me and we can just have a conversation about if you're stuck and if you're not sure how to get to the next level for your 2025. But yeah, you can reach me at e3cfirm.com.
Awesome. We getting rid of the leaks in our business.
Yes.
Now, Amber, you are another one. You both have, like I said, some great tools, especially for those business owners and learning to be more tech savvy and just maximizing things. So, Amber, let us know, what do you have as that takeaway for today, and then how can we learn a little more about what you do and work with you?
Thanks for mentioning as far as tech savvy, because if you thought you needed to be tech savvy when COVID came around, you're going to really have to be more than tech savvy as far as making sure your business survives with this. And that also includes artificial intelligence, or AI for short. So you need to make sure of that, because if you want to survive in your business, how technically ready are you? Or if you're not, make sure you get in contact with me. You can go to www.yourcomputerneeds.net and click on the contact link, or Facebook, LinkedIn, X, or Twitter. And believe it or not, some of TikTok is back. Also
Yes.
YouTube, YCN as a Nancy, OTLLC05.
Yeah, we got a little TikTok. I don't know, but it puts things that TikTok, it puts things into perspective for us in this season,
Mhm.
where you want to
Positivity.
have multiple systems, multiple streams,
Yes, you
whether
do.
it's marketing, income, whatever it
Mhm.
needs to be. You want to have a multifaceted approach, because you never know when one stream dries up. What do you do? That's a whole other interview. So I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna have to bring y'all back for part two before I open that can of worms.
Yeah.
But really, I just want to say thank you, Amber. I want to say thank you to you, Latanya. You all are amazing and helping me wrap up day 10, our final day for this event, with some great next steps to take time for ourselves. So thank you for that. And for those of you that watch live, if you missed it, like I said, we have days 1 through 9 available. Go to amplifyher.net/1010 event. It is time to step out. Another thing that I hadn't mentioned, if you go to amplifyher.net and look at the services, if you're really ready to step out this year and start speaking more, package your message, and get that word out, we have the Amplify Her speaker kit available, and you can get that at amplifyher.net. Nominal fee, some great resources to really help you organize and get things in order. It's a checklist. What should you have on your website? How can you make those things work for you? How can you make your messaging work for you? And that's what that's all about. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in. A big, huge thank you to Ruth L. Snyder, our featured sponsor for this event. She helps you to go from idea to book in 30 days, y'all. And Ruth, this rhymes, but Ruth is the truth. Ruth is really, really gifted in that area of taking those ideas and organizing it so that you can get not just any kind of book. We're not just trying to put anything out. She will help you get it done correctly, done effectively and professionally edited, formatted, and all those things. So I just want to say a huge thank you. I've been bitten by the interview bug. So just stay connected with me across social media at Erica Empowers. I plan to bring some of our speakers back and start showing up for 2025 this year, whenever you're watching this, more consistently with other dynamic women, just like who you've heard from tonight, to really help you maximize this year step out in your business. And especially if you're looking for some stability with real estate, I have a show, Keeping Up with the Coast with my husband. So definitely a lot of things happening on the table this year. But that is it. Thank you so much for being a part of this event. And I did not read our verse yet for today, but you see it scrolling underneath, and that's 1 Corinthians 6:19. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are so special. That's what that verse says to me. You are so important. And if you read before it, that's the reason we don't need to be out here treating our bodies any kind of way, connecting with any kind of person, and doing any kind of thing, thinking that it doesn't have value or no meaning. You do have value. You have significant meaning. You are important, and you're going to be such a blessing to somebody else. So do not play small this year. Y'all don't tiptoe about what God is calling you to do. And if you are sitting here, and we've talked about this before, I said I was going to wrap up with some of my favorite takeaways. You're waiting on God when God is waiting on you. You are in year 5011 trying to wait before you finally just launch out. And this is a sign. Pray about it and move and move and move. And another thing that stands out to me was your morning routine. I believe Galit talked about that. How are you starting your day off? We talked about getting a routine and creating those things so that even in the face of adversity, you're able to overcome and you're able to withstand. And we also talked about healing, and that's getting to the root of some of the things. Maybe you are finding yourself faced with challenges, and it seems like no matter how hard you try, you just can't quite get over the hump. Or every time you're on the brink of something incredible and amazing, it seems like you just get stopped in your tracks. Go back and watch our day of healing. It's the Ask for Help interview. That was really great. Just getting to the root of some of the challenges and the problems. And a lot of it is spiritual. And we talked about that. That's another takeaway, where sometimes you're ready to fight people, or you think some person has the power to stop you, when the truth is it's typically something spiritual that we are battling. And once you get into the battle, you can see so much success on the other side. So just go back, recap. I don't have to recap it for you because you have access to all 10 days. So I hope that's a blessing to you, and I will see you all soon. So make sure you stay connected with me and go to amplifyher.net 1010 event for the recap. Take care.